Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of Arcade Couch where we're just talking about our pick for the best game of 2022. But before we get to that game, let's talk about the other 9 games on the list quickly. So you may have seen by now this is posting half an hour after the list has gone live. So maybe not. Maybe you're just checking your podcast feed. But Explosion Network's official list of the top 10 games of 2022. Number 10 we had Stray. Number 9 we had Bayonetta 3. Number 8 we had Multiverses. Number 7 Sifu. Number 6, Neon White. Number 5, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Number 4, Horizon Forbidden West. Number 3, Marvel Snap. Number 2, God of War Ragnarok. And number 1, yes, Cult of the Lamb. Joining me to discuss the Cult, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, Dylan, excited to be here and be culty.
And Kieran Marchant.
Excited to Lamb?
Sure.
Take these lambs to the slaughter.
Let me take one thing out to the slaughter before we quickly touch on why you think this game's so good and why I've picked it as the best game in 2022. I don't know if I'm sure. I haven't actually wrote it yet, so I'm not sure at the time of recording, but I know Ash wants me to put like some sort of note in our top 10 list, the reason that Elden Ring wasn't included or something like this, or explain why.
I didn't say that. Yeah.
But does it feel weird for our list not to include Elden Ring?
I think it just speaks about...
Every other list in the world has Elden Ring, I feel. So, yeah.
I think it just speaks to our demographic of writers and what we have. You know, I guess other than me, the main person on the Explosion Network that would have played the game decided to leave it in its fucking wrapping for the year and not touch it and make a meme out of it. So it's just, it's not there. It's not for us. I guess we have the pleasure of being an independent and we're here for our own. We don't have to worry as much about the clicks and making sure that we have the popular things in the list. So, yeah.
I think it's fitting that as the YouTube, our highest commented on video on YouTube is I Quit Sekiro, that we decided to snub their next game as well.
Yeah, fuck them, you know?
Snub their next game. Fuck yeah, no.
Come on, now. What?
All right, Ash.
Yeah.
Why's Cult of the Lamb so good?
It's just a perfect, for me, it's a perfect combination of a bunch of things I love. It's got that Binding of Isaac-esque roguelike combat. It's got this crazy base building element to it, in which you're slowly building up this community of followers, not so they can live happily in this cult, but so you can utilize them to power yourself up in order to go out and take out these bosses, fulfilling a mission throughout the game. I just think it's also it's got a beautiful art style, very enjoyable cartoony look. It's just every aspect, it just works perfectly together. I think everything kind of helps each other flow together. I played it on PlayStation on day of release. Turns out there were a bunch of bugs in it. I didn't really know too much. I mean, there was elements of the game kind of just froze, so I needed to reset it. But I was happy to do that. It was a game that I love playing, despite all these things trying to get me to stop playing. So that's why I think Cult of the Lamb Game of the Year, or one of the best games of the year.
No, it is the best game. Explosion Network's Game of the Year. It is the best game.
Okay, yeah.
Kieran, why's Cult of the Lamb so good?
It is a game that is just so full of character and life, and it's so, I want to use the word quirky. I think in many ways it has that adorable nature that the game's art style and the character designs are so adorable that it might make it easier for people to accept the random and weird shit that goes on and happens. That you feel okay with, sacrificing your little cow friend because he decided to start preaching against your cult and started becoming a heretic.
Deserves it,
you know, it is. There's so many things, or there gets to a point in the early game where you are so sick of cleaning up fucking people's shit, where you've scooped up that much shit around the place, and then all of a sudden there's another person who just walks up and shits or pukes, and you're like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Get out of here. Or you send something to bed because you notice they're sick and they puke on the way to bed. You're like, fucking hell, it's like I'm a parent already.
Or the worst ones when you go out for a run and one of your people die. And you have to come back and there's like puke all around this dead body.
And yeah, I think on top of this base builder, there is also a fairly sizable and in-depth roguelike that has plenty of weapons to try out, plenty of different. I really love the tarot card system that's a part of this. I think there's a lot of depth in many ways to it. I think there's lots of places to explore, and it is a lot bigger than you may expect in terms of areas to explore and things to do in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Cult of the Lamb's just sort of a mix of two things that don't really seem like they would work together, but they somehow do. You like the base building stuff where you're building a cult, and then you have this roguelike that's happening at the same time. It almost it obviously it isn't, because that's not how video game development works, but it almost feels like in a world where we're coming off Hades, like sort of inspired by the same, or like not the exact same thing, but let's add a roguelike and just throw like a random novel genre like to the other side of it.
On top of it,
yeah, because Hades was, of course, it's roguelike, but then you're spending all this like sort of social element, just not base building, but like talking to characters and stuff like that. So
it's the evolution of roguelikes that make you feel like you're progressing no matter how many times you go out and die on a run.
Yeah.
I think roguelikes prior to Hades and prior to Cult of the Lamb had very much a style where it's like you could die 4 or 5 runs in a row and feel like you gained absolutely nothing from it. Yeah. So to now get that experience and get that feel of, okay, there's story progression going on here. I'm unlocking things.
I'm getting more powerful.
I'm getting more powerful. There are different things I can do. I can go and do some fishing. I can go and explore something over here. Like there's always something to do to progress yourself in between the runs. I think makes it a more open and accessible game for many people.
Yeah, I never feel like I barely ever went straight back into another run either. Like it's like, I finished. I better go do the rounds, clean up the shit, see who's died, bury some bodies, go do fishing. You know, like check around the places to see if any other characters or there's things happening in any of those other locations you unlock outside your own cult. You know, like it was always sort of a rhythm of. It always took me like 15, 20 minutes. Like so, I never. Went round to round, not until after I beat the game where I was trying to do some stuff. I was attempting to get the plat at some stage, but I never got back to it. But when I was trying to like just do rounds and rounds, like, but after that, when I was playing through the game initially, it was always like sort of it was like really structured and broken up between actual combat and then going back into the social element of the game, which was a lot of fun. And I mean, if you choose to care, and you may not, so that's fine. But you know, you unlock so much shit for decorating and changing your base. You can
I'm sure if you really wanted to, you could have an animal. What's the Nintendo franchise?
Animal Crossing, yeah.
Animal Crossing-esque cult community.
Yeah. There's just like I built some paths and like moved some stuff around. Like but I didn't spend that much time on it. But I'm sure if you wanted to, because you just unlock so much decorations and stuff, so there's always
you just get the farm going and then you're all set. It's like pretty great.
Farm people to kill. Yeah, and there's like the element of being able to choose to unlock the darker cult abilities, like like the cannibalism stuff, or like the more lighter cult stuff, like just sacrificing someone. It's like
that's on the lighter side. Or reviving people.
Yeah. Well, I would kill
people.
I would kill someone and then sometimes just bring them back, and then I'll kill them again.
Yes, if someone's at the end of their run and they're very high level, you just kill them and then bring them back.
I think it was a very heartbreaking moment the first time I had one of my cultists become an elderly person. I was like, oh no, they're gonna have to.
No, that's really sad. But then they're also really good for when you unlock that thing where you can sacrifice one of your followers for health. They're pretty good.
And then like not to mention, I also liked something when touched on is the capes. I liked how they like you had these little gameplay modifiers.
Dude, there is very
built in.
much a
Lots of customers like choice.
Yeah, you can
Like
make the
of
game
how,
harder,
what stats you want to take
easier.
up,
Yeah.
or like harder.
there's always
yeah.
a negative though, right? Like it's never just
Yeah.
straight out buffing yourself or making the game easier.
No, you do
There's
double
always a
the
trade-off
damage and
for all
take double the damage, like that one, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the best one. Yeah,
Just don't get hit. Get good, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I remember I took out one of the bosses without getting hit one time. Like, oh, this is a trophy that I have to do for all of these.
yeah. I think that's what I read
Yeah,
online
it's
is
really
everyone suggested like that cape or whatever. Just
Oh yeah, it's.
I think that's the cape. I was like, if I just play the whole game with this cape, I won't know what it's like
will get
not to
good.
take double the damage. I won't know what it's like to be normal. This is just what the game is. Excellent. Let's do it.
And there's like whole other elements of this game that I didn't really touch. There's like the thing where you can sacrifice followers to get powers or like get like a buddy, I guess, when you go out on your runs.
I did it once, but I was like,
didn't-
nah, not really how I want to play. But
But that's the
Wasn't
thing. I
necessary.
think there's so many different ways to build your cult. You can be the sacrificing cult. You can be a Mormon cult of worship and laws and like very strict kind of commandments. Like it's, yeah.
Polyamorous.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. I think it's so interesting the depth and the detail that the system goes into to make you be able to customize and change how things are.
yeah, and it's just such
I
a
even love the mini game in the like little card game thing you play.
the dice thing or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's solid.
it's solid. I feel it feels too random at times. Is my
It's
problem
no
with it.
Gwent.
Yeah, it's no Gwent.
It's gambling, so I
mark it
mean,
down points.
that makes sense. But
Mark
it's
it down
random.
points for that.
It is Gamba.
Yeah, Cold Lamb, very very good. Fantastic soundtrack as well. Art style, of course, we said is phenomenal.
Beautiful cutscenes.
Really good, yeah, really good cutscenes. Good use of like
Is this
2.5D
is this an
or whatever.
Australian game, Dylan?
yes, and it's also an Australian game. So shout outs to us because we made it.
Yeah.
Is that how that works? Do we get that? Is that what you do? It's like a sports team. You're like,
that-
we won. We
Yeah,
awarded ourselves.
we claim it.
We claimed it. So.
We handed it to them, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, it is like a big, like several years now. Every year, at least
there's at least one.
there's at least one Australian game in at least our top 10 and a lot of people's top 10. So, yeah, Australia continues to put on bangers after bangers. So, really looking forward to what Australian game comes out of nowhere in 2023.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Massive monster doing great work. If only they'd brought more Cola Lamb hoodies to PAX.
Yeah, fucked me.
That
They
means
fucked
you
me
would
there,
have
didn't
had
they?
one.
I
You would have had one.
I would have had one.
And I would have fulfilled that bet. But you know, whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I feel like it's important to point out this is the only game this year in which you can make your followers eat poop.
it's a good point. It's a good point.
Look, that was when one of them came and was like, "Hey, can you make me do this?" I felt inappropropriate. I was like,
This is a HR issue.
I'm like,
Where's-
have I made an
What is that?
OnlyFans? Like, I don't know.
My favorite
Wait,
one is
was
that
it to-
one that's like 75% chance I'll die, and I made that one. And I was like, oh, this can't be that bad. And I made like 3 copies, and like one person ate it, and then a bunch of stuff like dropped, like a bunch of really rare ingredients, items, whatever, just dropped out of it, and the other 2 dropped dead. And I was like, all right, well.
Wait,
No one-
Kieran, you said somebody requested somebody else to eat poop?
No. They asked for me to make
They-
it for
yes.
them. He
Yes,
was like,
that's the one.
bro, can you make this
I
and
wanna eat
force
poop.
me to eat this? Make me eat this. I was like, whoa, is this what guys are like asking for women to step on them in fucking DMs? Because I'm not about this. I'll make you do it, but I'm not about this. This isn't something I'm going to take pleasure in or enjoy. I just don't want to get the negative karma if I don't do this, you know?
That's fair. It's totally fair.
It's all about the worship.
You gotta be a
And then
good
the
god,
fucker got instantly sick. And I was like, motherfucker, you just
What'd you
wanted a day
expect?
off from work. You just wanted to stop. This is fucked.
One of those I can't remember what they're called, like rituals or whatever. You could choose to have so people don't get hungry, not just like work extra and stuff like that. So
Yeah, there's like 2 days
Yeah.
just worked solid.
no
yeah.
work, and there was the opposite one where it's like they took a day off and they got like happier, but they did no work or something. So yeah, again,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of options in how you want to treat your cult. Be
Yes.
good to them or bad to them. So I was a mix. I feel like I was
Also-
I was firm but fair.
An infinite supply of designs, I feel like.
For,
Like, you could probably, like, have so many followers that, you know,
oh right,
nobody
yeah,
looks
for the
exactly
people,
the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say I ever
So
saw
many
any
different
that looked
choices.
exactly the same. So I never
And they
changed.
keep
them
adding
too.
them.
I just randomized it.
They're still adding different, like, creature designs. Big updates coming soon, so, you know. Now is the best time to be playing Cult of the Lamb.
If you go, whoa, this game's game of the year for this independent website, maybe I should play it. Do it.
Well, my favorite thing was I started playing it like a week after Ash did or whatever. When I'd finally, like a week after release, I think is when I finally started playing it. And after hearing him complain about all these things, and then I said something about like, oh, you know, bring other people into church. What? I was like, the only bug I had when I was playing it, like, and it got fixed, but like the only thing I had that was really weird was if I rolled into like a door or like to the next room or whatever, it just wouldn't. No, it was I had to not roll, but I got into that bad habit of just spamming roll. You know, like just
The dodge
spam roll,
mechanic's
roll,
really good.
roll, go. Feels good. All right. That is our pick, Explosion Network's pick for the best game of 2022. If you want to look over the full list again, explosionnetwork.com/best of 2022. If you want to look at all our top 5, it's like top 5 console exclusives, top 5 performances in video games, top 5 something else, ongoing games, multiplayer games, all the art direction, all, writing, all these things are on explosionnetwork.com/best of 2022, as are our TV awards. And starting next week is our movie awards, finishing off Explosion Network's Best of 2022 awards for the year. And then we'll kick into officially 2023, because the year doesn't officially start until our Best of awards are over and the dust has settled. So thank you for listening. Arcade Couch will be back normally 23rd of
January.
Not June, January. 23rd January, Arcade Couch returns to normal. We'll see you all there. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.